Shit, y'all waiting. Oh, man.
So, Chase, what took you so long?
A lot of friends and family down there.
You don't say. All right, third time I've asked this question. Asked it to Coach Clark. Horn and I had a discussion about it. I'm going to ask you. I watched you guys practice that very play, and not that there wasn't some good fortune, because it has to happen for that to come together, but it worked exactly the way I've watched you guys practice it time and time again. Talk about the significance of practice making perfect when perfect was what you had to have.
Yeah, 2 seconds left. There's not much else you can do than to just heave it to the end zone. So, give Stroman a chance. Didn't quite make it to the end zone. So if he has the opportunity, he's going to catch it. He knew he was short, so he, tipped it, or whatever he needs to do to kind of keep that ball alive. And then C. Horn, he is that guy he's like that rat. He's coming back around for a tip. Many times you've seen plays like that, and the ball tips up 2, 3, 4 times. And then finally defense will try to swat it down. But, it worked out perfectly in our case. We practice so much situational football, and in these past 3 weeks, we've hit probably like 95% of those situations, which is I don't think I've ever hit it in a season one time. So it was remarkable.
So let's go back to the start of that drive. You guys have got a long way to go, no timeouts, and not much time to do it. What was the conversation on the sideline? What was the plan when you started that drive that led up to the play where you had to have it?
Yeah, I think we got the ball with 15 seconds left. Nothing new there. We had pretty good field position with the way they had to kick. Monty gave us good 10, 12 yards on a return. So I think we ended with about 15. Obviously, get out of bounds. And then if we can't get out of bounds, we know that we're going to run up there, kill the clock, save some time. But the goal was to just try to move the ball into Hughes' range. He's got a great leg, and he practices for moments like this. So if we could have got it around the 40, 45, we were probably going to let him take a shot at it and just kick the crap out of it and let him put it through the uprights. But we were 0 for 3. I think it was 4th down, and, we all just had faith. I mean, Coach Barbe was just like, hey, it's going to be a back-and-forth type of game. Not really much scoring back and forth, but just the blows, taking the blows. And, when we have to punt, you got to flip the field, have faith in your defense. So he just kind of kept me grounded, and Coop and Andy and Chop, those guys just really kind of came around me and uplifted me and helped me get these other guys ready.
You've been around college football for a while. You've been in some really great situations, some great games. You saw a lot happen at Clemson. As you think about the past 3 weeks and what has gone on around this program, look at you smiling already. Have you ever experienced anything, the ups, the downs, the back and forth, the incredible comeback against North Carolina, falling just short, going to Texas A&M, controlling that game, and then winning what truthfully looked to be the unwinnable? I mean, you ever experienced this before?
Not in 3 weeks. My blood pressure's been through the roof. So, it's been a wild 3 weeks for sure. I'm just looking at some of these numbers, and all these guys that touch the ball is outstanding. And I think going along with what you're saying, it requires everybody to be ready. And you can't take a day off or a week off for any opponent. And it's college football. I mean, you never know what can happen.
Chase, if you will, talk about your offensive line a little bit. We've talked about the receivers and the run game, but talk about those guys. They protected you for the most part, sacked only once. You did take some hits today, but they gave you opportunity, especially there late. So just speak about the Bulls, if you will.
Yeah, the Bulls, man, I love those guys. That sack's on me. It's a bootleg. I know better than that. I'm not supposed to take a sack on a bootleg. I own that one. Other than that, they kept a clean pocket pretty much all night. I'm a bigger kid as far as weight goes, so they know I can take a hit or two. When they do see me down, they, Chase, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you hurt? I'm like, guys, look, I'm not far from you. I'm a pretty big kid, so I love those guys. We have great fellowship on Thursdays. We all have great relationships. I'm roommates with Cooper and Andy, so that's two of them. Damien, Troy doing well. Bucky, all my guys up front, Big Zay. So, and they know that they're getting the guys behind them ready too. There's going to come a point where we're going to need somebody to step up, and in their meeting rooms and on the practice field, they do a good job of getting those young guys right. So, got a lot of love for them, and they are just great people off the field, even better on the field. So, I appreciate them.
Through doing the Mountaineer Insider, we've got to talk to a lot of your teammates, and we ask often the offensive players about your leadership. And they often joke about your nickname being Breezy, but just how chill you are, but yet how controlled and composed. How was that built through your career, that composure that you showed here today?
Yeah, I think it's just obviously the years kind of add on to each other. So being a 6-year older guy, I've seen a lot of football. And, we score. Last year I'd get excited. I'd get just as excited with Thomas, Malik, those guys, and I'd kind of lose some composure there. Now when I score or I throw a touchdown or we run one in or pick six, something happens, I'm excited, I'm happy inside, but I know I got to keep that composure. I got to keep that, that even kill. And so they see that. Obviously, they're, Chase, you okay? Hey, I'm good. I'm focused. I'm locked in. You ain't got to worry about me. Like I'm already focused. So, yeah, that's kind of my nickname being Breezy. Just easy going. Not going to get too high, not going to get too low. I've seen it all happen. I've experienced some of it, and so nothing really surprises me anymore. And I think that has helped me in these 3 games, this transition during fall camp. Just being older like that.
Today was obviously an experience, a new experience probably for you. You threw the ball. How soon did you know Christian caught it and scored? And just talk about the aftermath. Did you get to him before the fans got to you?
No, so I threw it, and I'm looking. I'm, praying. I'm all right. Oh, I see the tip, and then Christian I see come across, catches it in his breadbasket, and just I'm like, nobody's there, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think people nobody knows what's going to happen. Just like, honestly, jumping in the pond, our students, they didn't know what to do. So, I was in that position. I didn't know what to do. I started running. Hands are going up. I run, around the garden area. I'm high-fiving people. And I noticed people are jumping out of the stands. So, I'm actually helping people down. I'm like, here's a hand. People are falling. I'm like, oh, goodness, man. What is going on? So then I immediately – that was probably 3, 4, 5 minutes, all in one. I go and find their head coach, find one of my buddies. He was a kicker, Brooks Buse, and the quarterback Gunner, and a couple guys that played in Gwinnett County that I knew, and just congratulated them. Wanted them to know what heck of a game that was. And there's not really much to say in a moment like that because I'm excited and they're crushed. But I'll let them know that they played their heart out, and after that, I just celebrated with the fans. I didn't know where my team was, honestly. I'm just running around like my head's cut off, and then coming to the locker room and celebrate with my team.
Chase, when that ball first left your hand, how did you feel about it? Did you think you got it there?
I knew it was a little short. It didn't come off clean, to be honest, but there's been times in practice where I've overshot it, and all that was going through my mind before the play was keep it in bounds. Whatever you do, give your guy a chance. So I think I left it about 5, 6 yards short, which in this case was the most ideal thing that could happen. But yeah, you kind of want it, 4 yards deep in the end zone. That's what you would like it to be. But, I was just praying after I let it go.
When we talked a couple weeks back on the podcast, we talked about your journey, and we've talked about, game-winning drives in that 2018 season, winning national championships, that crazy UNC game a couple weeks ago. Where does this moment kind of rank in your mind, in your career as a moment?
Yeah, that's a great question because I've got a lot of great moments like that from high school and obviously early in my career at Clemson and reaching the pinnacle. But this is right up there. Just a wild game, and I mean, I really can't really put it into words. Just what it means to me to do it here at App State and with the guys that I'm doing it with.
Chase, Patrick McCormick with the Watauga Democrat. You mentioned Coop and Chop picking you up and providing support throughout the game. And I remember specifically after the missed two-point conversion against Carolina, I believe it was Coop physically picked up Deshaun after the play. And what do these 3 insane weeks do to the character and strength of the team and prepare you for what's going forward?
It develops a lot of tough skin. Makes you grind. It's a grind. College football is a grind in itself. It doesn't matter who you play. It's hard to win in college football. And so, 3 crazy weeks of ball, it's only going to, prepare us for what's later down the road and our goals. Our goals are still ahead of us. For a while there, it looked like, we were going to lose. I accept that from a fan's point of view, from just a human's point of view, golly, what are the odds here? But there's still time left on the clock, and I think that speaks a lot about our team. The defense held them, did what they were supposed to do in those last minute and a half, and we came back and we finished it out on top.
Perfect. You mentioned the fans. I believe the number was 34,400 something, which is the 4th largest crowd at the stadium, and that's without the temporary stands that were built for the Carolina game. How important was it for the crowd to show out for this game, for this conference matchup, and be pivotal in this win?
It's always important. Home games at the Rocker are special. It does something to you when we leave our locker room and run out there and we're holding the flags and we see black and yellow light up the stands. It's awesome, a special feeling. I love seeing that from our fans, and they love football. They love ball. They love our athletics. Basketball had a great showing last season, and I went to several baseball games. I think it's important not only for football. Obviously, that's what we're known for here, but to go out to the other sports, soccer, volleyball, field hockey, and go support our athletes. So. It's special. Obviously, it's football season, so we expect them to be loud and proud every home game, and I know they will. But we do something every week to kind of keep them coming back.
Chase, James Parker with the Appalachians. So Troy scored late in the second quarter, so you go into halftime down by 7. Describe a little bit what Coach Clark said to you guys and emphasized to you guys in the locker room before the third quarter.
Yeah, he told us, we're going to have to break their will. Troy had a great plan. They played hard. They had injuries and still were playing. A couple of my buddies on that defense were injured and still going hard. I saw that while I was playing. So we knew they weren't just going to give up. They were up at halftime. We needed to win the middle 8. I'm not sure if we did, but coming out of that second half, we drove down the field and scored, to give us some confidence. And from then on, it was just, heavyweight match. It was just back and forth, back and forth.
Chase Murray with WLOS. When the dust eventually does settle from this, I know Coach Clark has said repeatedly that the biggest goal is for you guys to win the Sun Belt Conference title. And step 1, you guys achieved that. Is that, the most important part of what you guys accomplished today, that goal is still very attainable because of what you accomplished in the last 2 seconds?
Right. We have goals on the board. We go over them every week before a game, and we strive to win the opener. We didn't. We wanted to win the state. We didn't. but we protect the rock, and that was one of those goals that we can check off for this week. We did protect the rock. Was a ring game for us, Sun Belt opponent. So we're all smiles and happy. Right now I know tomorrow is going to be a little reality check when we watch the film on both sides of the ball in all three phases. Some things that I need to fix in my game, and some things that I think in a lot of our game that we can learn from today, and be ready for next week.
Speaking of reality check, your sisters were here, and I ran into Beth Ann at halftime, and she
Yeah.
asked me, what the heck is going on? What are we doing? And actually, I think that's
going
her
on?
favorite line ever.
Yeah.
But I said, don't worry about it. Your brother's out there. And both your sisters said, we love him with our whole heart, and we know he's got it. For them to drive from Georgia, 2 home games in a row now, and be here, and B, just to hear them say something like, we know he's got it, no doubt in our minds. Just how much do you love their support?
Yeah, my sisters are great. I've got a great family. They're twins, so they were born a minute from apart of each other, and they're my biggest fans after mom and dad and my granddad. So they got a ton of faith in me. They love watching me play. They go to Georgia. They're seniors and they're going to graduate, and so really proud of them for the hard work that they put in. And I'm proud of them out of school context, just the way they carry themselves on social media. I know they're pretty popular social media wise, and I hold them accountable as well. I let them know, like, hey, we're not going to post this, and we're not going to say this. Like, stay true to you. And I try to do that as an example for them as I walk through life, so that they can look at me being a good role model. But it's great for them to come up and watch me play. I'm going to go celebrate with the family down at my parents sent me the address. I don't even know where it's at. But coming with my family. I had a lot of family here, aunts and uncles, cousins. Probably had about 25 people total. 2 of my best friends from Clemson from college. And so it is special to have a support system like that, and I love them to death, and yeah.
We talked about your blood pressure. What is your family's blood pressure been like?
Yeah,
the last 3 weeks?
it's had to tell my granddad to stop shaking me. I need you to calm down. Do not need you to fall out right here. Like, I know you're excited, but just relax.
All right, we have a last question right here.
Hey, Chase, Cam Gaskins with WBTV. First of all, as a Gwinnett County native myself, appreciate you shouting out the county earlier. But just this team, all 3 games this season, just a real flair for the dramatic and the theatrics. And with the eyes of the nation on Boone this week, College Game Day, all the just extracurriculars around it, what does it mean to this program to have put on this kind of a show with, again, the national spotlight on the team?
Yeah. What part of Gwinnett?
Duluth.
Duluth? Okay, cool. I was Grayson.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get College Game Day here in an atmosphere like this, it was super cool to see that last night and into today, just the fans going crazy. I saw some phenomenal signs out there. I think we left a lasting impression on the College Game Day crew. I think it was pretty special. They were pumped for it. We were excited for it. But, a lot of people want to talk about the distraction of it. I think it was not really a distraction. Didn't really get us off course. I want to give credit to Troy. Thought both teams played really hard, and I think it's special for Boone to have College Game Day here. But ultimately, none of that was too much of a distraction for our team in the long run.
All right, I'll add one very last question.
All good.
Kind of a critical moment in the second quarter. I believe you came back and tied it 14-14 with the pass over the middle to Anderson Castle. And, of course, with Anderson being a local boy, you made a lot of friends, if you didn't have any already. What was going on leading up to that? What considerations were leading up to that particular play?
Yeah, I think it was a third down. AC has been in the rotation every week at practice for plays like that, different passing plays, and obviously his, his body type to run downhill, break tackles, lean forward always. He's always getting a first down. He's always getting 4 or 5 yards. Put in two back personnel, and that was kind of the play. Couple reads here and there, and I'm reading my key, and he does what I want him to do, and AC runs a perfect right through the outside shoulder of that Mike. He doesn't see him, and all I got to do is give him a catchable ball right in the chest for him to catch, and that momentum carried him in the end zone. And I know that was a special moment for him, for his family. I remember last year when he scored against Elon, our whole sideline erupted. But that's nothing new to him. That kid's a grinder. He's a worker. He comes to work every day, puts his hard hat on, and I love him. I love his work ethic. I love the person that he is, and he's one of my best friends on the team.
Thank you, Chase. Thanks, everybody, for joining.